Hello friends, after a long time some important news is there, but it seems that mainstream media is least concerned about the most vulnerable section of the society. First is you have this news appeared in Morning Standard couple of days ago, whereby the government in 2016 they had ordered that the MP-led scheme, whereby MPs got 5 crore rupees annually, they should spend proportionately for STs and STs. That is 15% for the SCs and 7.5% for the STs, and the total amount would be something like 3.75 crore for SCs and 1.875 crore for STs. But the new guidelines that have been released, they have not put any condition like that. Means it's not obligatory for MPs to spend this fund for neither SCs nor STs. More important news today, again that you are seeing on the screen, it appeared only in Hindu. What does it state? That the Standing Committee on Social Justice and Empowerment, yesterday they have made some important announcement regarding the tribal affairs, particularly the PVTGs. The House panel, I don't have to tell you the history of PVTGs. 1975 they were declared PTGs, and in 2006 PVTGs. But they have their conditions well stated by the government. This the House panel report says the committee are rather apprehensive on the enhanced budgetary allocation for PVTGs and its utilization by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, as data on population on PVTGs in several states and UTs is still not available. What does this mean? The data on PVTGs are not available. I'll come to this point later, but it states that the government has not been able to spend the amount that has been kept in the budget. Like it spent just 6.48 crore for the development of PVTGs in 2022-23 out of the total initial allocation of 252 crore. So they give budget estimates and then they give revised estimates and slashed significantly. And it further states that tribal affairs allocation of over 12,000 crores made in this year's budget estimates, the committee has appreciated, but it is apprehensive about. Even after 75 years, you talk about tribals in such a sorry state, and particularly PVTGs. Let me tell you very clearly, they say that they do not have statistics for PVTGs. It is very clear that they do not have statistics at all. The what you call as the reliable statistics, that is census. How census data are collected, we are all aware about. If you talk about the tribals, when 1981 census data were being collected, I was in Pithagarh, and the persons just sitting in the Tehsil headquarter will give count from every village and every family based on secondary sources, even tertiary sources also. That is it. And they say that the statistics about PVTGs are not being collected. And then they say, what are the characteristics of PVTGs? they live at subsistence level of economy, they have very low level of education, and the population, it is either stagnant or it is declining. The question is, who is responsible? If I talk about my personal experience next, uh, for about 5 years I studied Birhor. In the first year when I studied, obviously collecting statistics, ethnographic details, demography, that is the most crucial thing. So I collected the statistics in the Giridih district of Jharkhand, and that was in 2015, and I compared it with the 2011 census. The first table that you see, there are five villages of Birhor are called Tandas. There are 5 Tandas: Buda Chanch, Kali Chattan, Amanari, Kala Pathar and Piparadi. So as per 2011 census, what is their population? It is 490. And then after 4 years, again a survey was conducted by the state, and their population was given 557. I do not know how the count is done and how it is calculated. But if you go by these figures, within 3 years, the population increased by 13.7%. Or you can say the decadal increase was 46%. Unbelievable. An important characteristics of PVTGs is, I told you, stagnant or declining numbers. Then how come their numbers were declining? Of course, I was suspicious. So what I did in table 3, I counted the number of births and of course deaths in the last 3 years, and their number was 43. And in that period, 4 deaths had taken place, 3 between 6 and 10, and 1 at the age of about 40. That 40, I still remember the name of the person was Chatur Birhor, who had travelled a large number of cities and districts in the country, and who knew much more than any ordinary Birhor knows. So their figure should be 529. Here it is 557. This is the way studies are undertaken, and this is the way calculations are made. The standing committee says that not proper studies have been undertaken. Proper studies are never undertaken. We are just fooled. And I am sorry to say, the people from my clan, the anthropologists, they are to blame because they never speak out. All this jugglery that is being done in the name of tribes, all this because the anthropologists, the country, the world is being fooled. You say the education level is very poor. In every Tanda of Birhor, you have a primary school, and in each primary school you have 2 Samvida Shikshaks, 5 classes, 2 Samvida means contractual. They get 5,000 rupees per month. I call it unemployment bhatta, so that they can survive and they can compete for various government jobs. And thereafter, the high school and further, they have to travel at least 15 to 20 kilometers because there are no roads approaching these tandas. That is not the isolated case when we talk about the rising population of Birhor amongst the PVTGs. It comes out to around 20%, more than 20%. And there are friends who have told me that some PVTGs in other PVTGs of Chhattisgarh and Odisha and Madhya Pradesh, they also are increasing in numbers. And some of them even have requested the government, because as per government rules, these PVTGs are not allowed the contraceptives. So they have asked, some of them have asked the government that they should withdraw this rule because their population is increasing. So that means the time has come when you have to revise this definition of PVTG. And how it is possible? It is possible because of the active intervention of the person at the help, the district collector. Here it was Diprav Lakda, a student of mine, and he was very active, he himself a tribal from Odisha, and he saw to it that all health facilities, though not available around, the ASHA and other workers and NGOs, they were kept in the loop. So even if the health center was at a distance of 10 to 15 kilometers, the patient could reach there in 10 to 15 or 20 minutes. And this can be done to other PVTGs. Why? To every national of the country that should be. And why the education is poor? Firstly, that will be a separate topic, but you have only up to 5 the classes, and that too, I told you, only Samhita Shikshaks. And that is not the only thing. Whatever has been suggested in the new education policy, nothing is being implemented so far. So the criteria that we use for PVTGs, soon a time will come when there won't be any need to use this terminology if we take care of their education and health. So if you want development, and development has to be integrated, do you think you can have health without education? Do you think you can have employment without health and education? Do you think you can have nutrition without health and employment? Everything is integrated. And whenever I talk about development, I just take into account 4 criteria: health, education, employment. When I say, I include nutrition therein: health, education, employment, and environment. So we need integrated approach to development, and unless anthropologists speak out, no government would work. So my humble request to anthropologists is, please speak out, participate in debates, write articles in newspapers. You keep writing in your journals, but who reads them? If you want to popularize anthropology, you have to take up the issues concerning tribals, because all your field work is on them, because your bread and butter have been that. But after finishing your research, they are just nobody for you. Please take note. Thank you.